Lover.
Bek Lover, he's always undercover. Bek Lover, that's word to your mother. Bek Lover, this is no other. Bek Lover, he'll always be your brother.
Oh, it's another day here at the Comeback Team Studios. This is your boy Bek Lover. I know you missed me. I know you've been like, where the hell did he go? But for those of you that want to know what I'm up to, you should be following me on Instagram, on X, on YouTube. Just because you don't see me here doesn't mean I'm not working. I just got back from Nevada, Las Vegas to be exact. We just pumped out 7 different shows. They're all up. So I know you guys think I've been taking my time and enjoying life, but I've been out there grinding. And we're viral, baby. We are viral. But not more viral than my friend Subway DJ. Yes, that's my friend. You've probably seen the video where he corners Jerry Seinfeld and says, hey, can I get a selfie? And he puts up his fingers and then he goes, Free Palestine. If you've seen that video, that's probably the most viral video in the world right now. And I happen to know Subway DJ very well. You guys think I'm interesting. You want to see a guy that happens to be at the, he's everywhere, man. He gets the most amazing content. And I have some videos that have gone viral with him from a couple years ago. I actually met Subway DJ, not in the subway. I met him on the streets of New York and actually on East 10th Street. He was coming with his speaker. He plays music. He makes these pop-up parties just in the middle of nowhere. He's at every gathering of people and sport events, and he just gets really funny and interesting footage. And he's definitely someone you should follow. We're going to cover that story today. But first, I need to give kudos to my people, to my family, to every Albanian around the world. I say Happy Independence Day to the Republic of Kosovo. Kosovo, also known as Kosovo, is an independent country, but in reality, it's northern Albania. It's northern Albania. Yes, it's its own sovereign nation, but for those of us that know, it was a part of Albania under the, throughout history, and there was no borders and boundaries in the Balkans. You had the Ottoman Empire that was there for hundreds of years. And when the Ottoman Empire collapsed, the Albanian nation, for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, the Albanian nation has one of the most tragic histories in all of Europe and the world. A nation divided by borders that the world imposed onto the Albanians. Imagine if you had a mom, a dad, a sister, a brother, and another brother, and then someone just comes in and says, you're going to live in that house, you're going to live in that house, and you're going to live in that house, and every single house treats you differently. That's basically what happened to my people. But if it wasn't for the United States of America, in Woodrow Wilson, when the Ottoman Empire collapsed, the Albanian nation would have been wiped off the face of the earth. We would have been like the Kurds. We would have been a people without a homeland. So our love for the United States of America, I want to make it clear to anyone that doubts it, that the Albanians want to thank the American people. Yeah, we're not crazy about what America does around the world, and a lot of policies I personally do not agree with. But for once, they got it right. For once, after seeing what the Yugoslavians, it was called Yugoslavia, Albanians are not Slavic. We never belonged in Yugoslavia. We were forced to live under Slavic rule. The Albanians have the oldest and one of the oldest, if not the oldest, Indo-European language in existence. And after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the Turks, we were under them for about 500-600 years. There was a land grab. There was no borders and boundaries. Everyone was under the Turks. The Bosnians, the Serbians, the Croatians, the Greeks, the Albanians, the quote-unquote Northern Macedonians, and so on and so forth. And when the Ottoman Empire collapsed, a big chunk of Albanian lands were forced into what was called Yugoslavia, a nation that no longer exists. Albanians are not Slavic. Slavic people originate from the east, towards the end of Europe, towards Asia, towards Russia. If there's any proof that the Albanians are indigenous people, it's their language. No matter how much lies people want to spew and hatred and ancient runes that they continue to dig. And our DNA test, which is some of the oldest DNA in Europe, it's undeniable. And if you do a simple Google search, when did the Slavs start coming into the Balkans? You'll see it was in the 7th century. The Albanians originate from the ancient Pelagicians and the ancient Illyrians. The word Albanian comes from the word Albanoi, which was one of the largest tribes of the Illyrian people. Yes, there's a lot of animosity between the neighbors, but our language is proof. And for those of you that are Greek, maybe at some point there was some commingling there or whatever it is, but as far as our language is concerned, even to this day, our language stands the testament of time. You see, we study Greek history and we learn of the goddess of love, Aphrodite. But in Albanian, I have many aunts and cousins named Aphrodita. In the Albanian language, we still speak these words to this day. So if I said to another Albanian, Afro, haide offer, come close, me afru, offer. Offer means, not like English. In Albanian, the word offer means close or near. The word dita means day. So if I said to an Albanian, dite në mirë, it means have a good day. Është ditë e bukur, it's a beautiful day. Aferdita, when the day draws near, or dawn, we still speak the language. Our language is proof. Occupier after occupier, from the ancient Romans to the ancient, to the Turks, to the Slavs, to the communists, the Albanians have stood the testament of time because of their rugged terrain, their language, and their clan system. And we have stood the test of time. Today, I don't celebrate the independence of Kosovo the way a lot of other Albanians do. I believe it's just one further step to reunifying our lands under a united Albania that was divided by the world, by the West, by the powers that be. And the fact that we're still having these discussions 17 years later, to clarify for people, the Albanians that lived in Kosovo had autonomy inside of Yugoslavia. They were given a special class. So when the Serbs claim that Kosovo was always a part of Serbia, my response to the Serbs, and no offense to them, but we need to move past all this nonsense, centuries of fighting back and forth. When they claimed that Kosovo was a part of Serbia, then why did the leader of Yugoslavia give Kosovo a special status? Why did they have self-rule under Serbia? Because they knew that they had to give the Albanians a special class. Otherwise, they would have had a problem a long time ago. And to be fair to history, the Albanians living in Kosovo under Tito, they had an okay existence. Yes, there was some oppression, but not on the level of when Slobodan Milosevic came into power. And he had a brutal crackdown. And he fired all the Albanians from their jobs, closed all of their schools, and created an apartheid system. He even poisoned schools. This is all documented on YouTube. You can go look at all the old news stories from the world press, not the Albanian press, because communist Albania was closed off to the world. We didn't even have our own press. News from around the world will show you from the 80s until the point of the war erupting in Kosovo that the Albanians peacefully resisted this brutal crackdown. All they were asking for originally was for their autonomy to be restored, which was taken away from them from Milosevic. They weren't even asking for independence. So that's what I will say to the Serbs. When you want to twist history, go look at all the demonstrata, the demonstrations that occurred in Pristina, which is today the capital of the Republic of Kosovo, as Albanians peacefully resisted brutal oppression, raising their two fingers for peace as they did hunger strikes. They were beaten, thrown into jail, eliminated physically, brutally, physically. I got to watch my language now. We're streaming on TikTok. I kind of feel like taking it down, to be honest with you, because I can't do my show the way I want to do it on TikTok. But they were brutally oppressed. And the Albanians didn't declare independence right away. They just wanted their rights restored. This is a historical fact. And when the rest of Yugoslavia collapsed and went into war, the The Albanians of Kosovo didn't jump into the war. Bosnia went to war. Croatia, Slovenia, they all had the same problem with the same country, Serbia. And we all know what they did in Bosnia, and we all know what they did back and forth. And yes, there was some crimes done to Serbian civilians also. I don't deny history and I don't deny facts. Some people are disillusioned. But I want to remind my friends in the North, we weren't even asking for our independence. You forced us. Because when you treat someone that is under you, the way you treated these people, the way you treated my family, of which I lost 28 people, that you burned my entire family's houses down, that you ethnically cleansed over 1 million people before NATO got involved. You want to deny facts. And you have people like Tucker Carlson, who claims to be about free speech, who claims to be about letting everyone have a voice, who has never had a single person to speak about Kosovo that represents the Albanian side of what happened. And I send this invite again, and I ask my audience, clip this clip and send it to Tucker Carlson. You claim to be fair. You claim to be someone that wants the truth. How come you only have pro-Serbian sides? Are they lobbying you, Tucker Carlson? Are they paying you to put this propaganda out? That's my question to you, Tucker. So I'm here. Anytime you want someone to come on and discuss the issue, I'd be more than willing to. I owe it to my family that lays in the ground today, that lost their lives in 1998. To my uncle, who passed away with my watch that I gave him the last time I saw him alive, when a grenade ripped him to pieces and the watch exploded on the second that he passed away. My watch that I gave him as a gift. That's how I lost my uncle. So to sit here and deny that we had a peaceful resistance for over 30 years, and we didn't jump into war when Bosnia and everyone else went to war with the Serbs. And the world, once again, left the Albanians out of the Dayton Peace Accords, which ended the Bosnian War. And after a while, peaceful resistance didn't work, and the Kosovo Liberation Army formed, and the Albanians, with whatever little weaponry they had, started a resistance that became very brutal, which led to an all-out war, which led to America initiating bombing and ending that conflict. Even if what the Serbians said is true, and it's not historically, and it can be debunked by any linguist, any historian being true to history, they will tell you the Albanians are some of the oldest, if not the oldest, in all of Europe. That is a fact. But even if what they said was true, if I was being a devil's advocate, the way you treated your citizens, the way you brutally oppressed them, the way you did what you did, you lost the right to govern these people. You committed atrocities, like the Richak massacre, like the massacre of the Yashari family, and so on and so forth. You lost the right to govern, even if your lies were true. With that, I say, Happy Independence Day to the Republic of Kosovo. In America, do not turn your back on a people that love you and will never forget your help, not only when you ended the war in Kosovo, but when you recognized the sovereignty of the nation of Albania back in the early 1900s, when it was critical. Otherwise, we would have been exterminated as a nation. And for that, America, we love you and we are loyal, but we ask you do what's right and you do what's fair. For those of you that don't know the history, one of the greatest celebrations was done in Times Square to thank America. And you're looking at the organizer. Me and my friend Zeph got the word out very quickly back in 2008, February 17th. And what did we do? We had a big celebration in Times Square to thank the United States of America. And we shut down New York City to say thank you to our American brothers and sisters. Here's some scenes of the footage, and I am honored and I am blessed to have been a part of organizing this amazing event to thank the United States of America. This is the moment that the NYPD comes in and shuts down Times Square completely. Everyone's holding Albanian and American flags. Thank you, USA. Celebrating. It was a beautiful moment, not only in Albanian history, but in New York history. An amazing moment. And so I want to give a shout out to my friend Zeph. Now, for those that think I'm full of cocky, here's a video of my grandmother, may she rest in peace, in my family's village, right after the war ended, and the smoke is still rising from the village. Here is a small clip from ABC News right after the war ended, and this is my poor grandmother, what she went through. She survived when a house burned over her and she hid inside of a hole in the basement of the house. So here we go.
It's a woman who has stared death in the face many times and somehow survived. What kind of memories do you have of that time?
That was the suffering of Albanian nation. That was the suffering of all Kosovars, the day of suffering.
Millions of refugees, like what's happening in Gaza, eliminated everything. The entire country, except for a few cities, were burned to the ground. So, for me, it is what it is. You could say I'm biased. I invite you to study how long we peacefully resisted before we bore arms. Very simple. So we'll continue. We have a lot of stories to cover. Peace and blessings around the world. Trump envoy slams wrongful imprisonment of Kosovo's founding father, Fauci. BalkanInsight.com. U.S. envoy Richard Grenell denounced the imprisonment and Hague trial of Hasim Thaci for war crimes and blamed Europeans and Kosovo's own institutions for failing to bring this injustice to an end. U.S. President Donald Trump's envoy for special missions, Richard Grenell, on Monday called for the release of Kosovo's ex-president, Hasim Thaci, from a detention center in The Hague, where he has been on trial for war crimes since April 2023. This wrongful imprisonment must end, Grenell wrote in a post hashtagged with the name of the ex-special prosecutor, Jack Smith. This milestone is overshadowed by a grave injustice. The founding father of Kosovo statehood, President Hasim Thaci, should be celebrating today in Pristina, not behind bars in The Hague. For those that think that Richard Grenell is against Kosovo, this is clear proof that he is not. So, on to other news. A humpback whale briefly swallows a kayaker in Chile, and it's all captured on camera. Now, this video kind of broke last week, but why is it important to cover? For those of you that are Christian, Muslim, Jewish, and you believe in Jonah, and Jonah got swallowed by the whale, what more proof do you want in this video that something like that could happen? To me, it's proof that this story that's in our Bible and our Quran is actually true. Because the same thing happened to this guy. He got swallowed by the whale and spit out. Now, it was a lot quicker than 3 days and 3 nights, but still nonetheless very possible. So let's take a look at this video, if it plays. I got Al in the office today. I don't know if he's over here right now. See if we can get him a camera shot here. There he is. Look at him. Look at him. Say what's up, Al, to the 20,000 people. You wish there was 20,000 people. So, and for those of you that are just getting on right now, I have 7 podcasts out. If you want to see all the podcasts I've appeared on in the last week, you go to YouTube, type in Bek Lover, switch your search filter to this week, and they'll all pop up. I better watch that hand signal. They're going to say I'm Elon Musk with the hand like this. I got to be careful. In any event, here's the video of the man being swallowed by the whale. Why isn't this video playing? Here we go. Play the video. Look at this. This is crazy, man.
Cuando volteo no
Swallowed by a whale.
Adrián, a mi compañero, a mi hijo. No lo veo, ni veo el bote, entonces
Crazy.
Me sorprendí, me preocupé. Y después veo que
Look at this.
a la
Look at the
superficie,
size of
y
that,
después de
man.
él sale el bote a la superficie y después veo una
I mean, what the hell would you do, man? What would you do if you're swimming and a whale just swallows you, man? It's crazy, man. Huh? Crazy. But gives some truth that there might be some proof to these stories in the Bible. This is, I guess, a sad and interesting story at the same time. A prominent gay imam shot dead in South Africa. The killing of Muhsin Hendricks, a prominent openly gay imam in South Africa, has sent shockwaves throughout the LGBTQ community. I mean, it's sad. I don't think anyone should take his life. I think God is the only one that should take life. But there's no such thing as a gay imam. And I guess some people were so offended they thought that they could take justice into their hands, and I don't stand by that. Not when you live in a Western nation, and, you know, by doing so, I guess, I don't know. It's a very tragic story. But to me, there's no way you can be gay and an imam, period. You're in direct violation of the faith, direct violation of the book. It's called an abomination in the religion of Islam. And then you're taking a leadership role. So yes, is it tragic that this man lost his life? Yes, but I think he knew he was playing with fire, man. He really was, in every sense of the word. Tragic. We definitely condemn violence, you know, but, you know, this ain't America, and people don't really have a tolerance for this type of stuff around the world. So it's sad, you know, it's sad that this man's life ended that way. I don't know what this video is. Let's see if it pops up here. Yeah, I guess they show it. So shooter came up and just opened fire and took him out. Now, the question is, who did it? Are they going to blame it on a Muslim? I mean, we don't know who did it. It doesn't say that they know who the shooters were, so we can't say it was a member of the Muslim community. We don't know yet. But nonetheless, tragic that this man lost his life. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Netanyahu vows to finish the job against Iran with support from Trump, Israel's prime minister, because they're dying to put us in war with Iran. America needs another war. We have to go to war with Iran. Americans, hey, Americans, we need to go to war on behalf of Israel. Do you want to send your sons and daughters to go fight for a foreign country? Thumbs up or down? Me? No. My son's of draft age, not interested in a war with Iran. If Israel wants to fight Iran, let them go fight Iran alone. Seriously. It's enough they get weapons and millions of dollars. I don't think any American should have to go lose their life to fight that war. I just don't. Netanyahu was speaking alongside U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's visiting Israel. Over the last 16 months, Israel has dealt a mighty blow to Iran's terror access. Rubio said that there can never be a nuclear Iran. It is important to constantly point that whether we talk about Hamas or we talk about Hezbollah, we talk about violence in the West Bank, or we talk about destabilization in Syria, or we talk about any of these issues, the militias in Iraq, they all have behind them one common theme: Iran. Some people might say Israel. Depends who you ask. U.S. intelligence agencies recently warned both the Biden and Trump administrations that Israel will likely attempt to strike facilities key to Iran's nuclear program this year. Israel's willingness to use military force runs counter to President Donald Trump's current desire for a peace deal with Tehran, and the recent U.S. intelligence cautions that major strikes on Iranian nuclear sites could increase the risk of a wider war breaking out in the Middle East, which none of us need. None of us. We don't need any more war. Now, speaking of the whole Gaza thing and the Palestine thing and the Israel thing, Subway DJ, and what's crazy is because, like, you know, my girl's a big fan of Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld. I love the show. Subway DJ is a friend of mine. I've made some videos with him. He's everywhere. You should definitely check out his profile, Subway DJ. He has some of the best content in the world. He's got a video with Peggy Gao, you know. He like ran into Peggy Gao and then she started singing on his, like, you know, he's just got amazing content. He goes to a lot of protests. He is pro-Palestinian for the conflict. And he corners Jerry Seinfeld yesterday at the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. And he acts like he's going to take a picture with Seinfeld as a fan, and then he flashes a Free Palestine. And this video has now gone viral. Every newspaper, New York Post, you name it. The whole world is talking about this video. And it's just funny that someone that I know. And if you look at his Instagram, you'll see he follows me and we have some videos together. But let's check out this video that went viral.
Sure.
Free Palestine!
I don't care about Palestine.
That's sad.
And that video has now broke the internet. Subway DJ's content is just amazing, though. He has like funny videos, serious videos. I highly recommend you follow Subway DJ.
Happy January 6th, man.
Look at Steve Bannon.
Brother, I love you.
He goes happy January 6th. Honestly, Subway DJ is doing more than TMZ does. Look, that's Jerry Seinfeld again.
Jerry, don't support genocide. Don't support genocide. Please. Stop supporting Israel.
Huh? He's been harassing him.
Can I have a stop as well? I have a question. What did you do on Epstein's island?
Ooh. Ooh, Subway DJ's wicked with it, man. So that's him. If you guys want to see interesting content, follow him. He's literally in the New York Post today. It's hilarious. He went like really viral. So, a couple describes next level bullying over making OnlyFans content with, oh man, I'm not allowed to say that word on TikTok, right? Yeah. Well, we got to take it down, man. We got to stop the stream on TikTok, man. We're going to get banned, bro. How many people are watching? That's it. Are they sending any gifts, any hats? Are they being cheap on TikTok? Am I getting any love from TikTok? If you're watching me on TikTok, should we take some calls, man? You guys want us to take some phone calls? Am I going to get some prank calls? Should we do it? Should we do it? Let's do it. How come it's not showing? You got to go to my main camera, right? Yeah, let's do it. You want to talk? Call me up, man. On the air, live. Send a super chat. Don't be cheap. Tom Hanks made a really cheesy appearance on the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. It's a comedy show here in the United States of America. A lot of people don't like him. He's been rumors of all the stuff that's gone on with kids and all this other stuff. Let's see.
Speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I like to.
So basically, he was making fun of MAGA supporters, and no one cares. Trump tells Netanyahu to do whatever you want to finish Hamas if remaining hostages aren't freed. Basically, a green light to start the war again is what he's saying.
I told Bibi, you do whatever you want because, you know, my statement was they got to come back. Now, the reason I made that statement because they said they weren't going to deliver, they were not going to deliver the people that they said they were going to deliver, that they agreed to deliver. And they did agree to do that, but they broke that agreement when I made the statement.
Why would they even honor the agreement when you're basically telling them you're going to take over the whole Gaza Strip and they're finished? I mean, listen, I'm not one to negotiate with other people, but you're telling them we're taking over it, we're just going to own it. Why would they cooperate at that point? That means, okay, I lost all my family, everyone's dead, everything's destroyed, but now we should cooperate? I mean, it makes no sense to me from if you're trying to have peace and then you're making announcements that no matter what you guys do, we're just going to take over, then what's the point? It makes no sense. It's just common sense. It's hot in here, man. 500 days into this conflict. Netanyahu said he will open the gates of hell if Hamas fails to free all the hostages. I got a newsflash for you, Bibi. You already did. Have you seen Gaza? Have you seen the countless children and women and unarmed civilians and amputees and buildings destroyed? There's not really much left you can do. Why don't you just drop a nuke? Have mercy on them. Just drop a nuclear bomb. You know you would do it if no one cared. Drop a nuclear weapon and get rid of them because you want to kick them out of there anyway. Why don't you just do it quick and stop pretending? Just drop a nuclear weapon and get rid of them all because that's what you want to do. That's the truth. Gonna unleash the gates of hell. You already did. We will last 6 months if Trump pulls U.S. military aid from the Ukraine. U.S. President Donald Trump's recent statements and planned meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin raises fresh uncertainty about Washington's support for the Ukraine. I would say that war is coming to an end very soon, like very soon. China is mad at the U.S. for changing the State Department language on Taiwan. U.S. State Department last week removed the line from the fact sheet saying we do not support Taiwan independence. China has called on the United States to correct its mistakes after a statement that Washington does not support an independent Taiwan was removed from the State Department website. Holdout Taiwanese. Oh, man, that's another one that's not good. You realize that we can't stream on that, right? Yeah, we can't stream on TikTok, bro. You got to take it down. Got to take it down. Kill the stream. Sorry, guys. If you want to follow on YouTube, follow anywhere podcasts are received. You can watch me live. There's certain things I can't speak about because I'll lose my account. Switch off the toggle. Where? This one? The TikTok. That's it. Let's not get banned, man. We're not free, man. There's no free speech in here, man. It's so hot in here, man. I'm not staying long in the studio. If no one calls in, that's it. We're done. Is it automatically connected to the phone?
Yeah.
How?
Somebody will call.
It'll ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put the number up.
Elon Musk Doge seeks access to taxpayer data at the IRS. This is reported by the Associated Press. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is seeking access to troves of sensitive taxpayer data at the IRS. Two people familiar with the inner workings of the plan who were not authorized to discuss the matter publicly told the Associated Press on Monday. If successful, Musk and his group would have access to millions of tightly controlled files that include taxpayer information, bank records, and other sensitive records. The people who spoke to the AP and requested, and I always have I have a hard time saying this damn word, man. Anonymity. I said it. College graduate. I can't even read. Anonymity. You know when you just don't use a word a lot? I would say anonymous, you know? Who want to remain anonymous. All right, let's see. We're going to pick up this phone. Now, if this person prank calls, we're done taking calls on the show. Let's let them on. You're on the air with Bek Lover.
Yo, you hear me?
Yes, speak. How you doing?
What's up, Bek Lover? Big fan.
You watching the show or what?
I'm watching the show. I always watch the show.
What do you think about the news? What's going on in the world? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you think's interesting? Anything I missed on this episode that you want to talk about without getting the channel nuked? Remember, we got to speak in code.
Have you seen, you didn't mention this, I don't know if you did, maybe I joined late, that they're auditing Fort Knox.
Fort Knox? I heard a rumor about that. Let's pull up
Elon's Twitter right now.
Let's go on Elon's Twitter right now. Okay. Let's do that right now. Yeah, I heard a rumor about that, actually. Someone called me about it.
They said
that the gold's missing,
no? Live stream. He said he wants to live stream a camera going into Fort Knox so we all see everything.
So where is that?
What do you think about it?
Where's the post?
Scroll down. It's on there. Let me see because I can't see the screen. Let me see.
We have to turn off call waiting on this thing. So, major improvement in Treasury payment. I don't see it on his wall. I don't know where you saw it, but
he posts a lot. Keep going. It's there.
But in any event, I mean, we should know what's in Fort Knox. Where's the gold? And if the gold's missing, who has the gold, right? If the gold is missing from Fort Knox, then you know why they took the dollar off the gold standard, right? It was the greatest theft in history, probably, if it's not there.
So
right?
Let's say there is no gold. What are the implications of no gold in Fort Knox? What happens?
America's broke. That's what it means.
Wow.
Who has the gold?
Who has the gold? What about all these banks bringing in their gold to America? You saw Bank of England bringing gold to New York. They were saying they're trying to beat the tariffs. Yeah, this was on the news. It was like a week ago. They're saying they're trying to get ahead of the tariffs. So maybe they're now scrambling to bring the gold back.
I don't see that article, but I did hear about that story. Can I check? Maybe if I check on Google, maybe there's an article. Let's see. Fort Knox, Elon Musk.
There has to be something. I just saw it.
Let's see here. Musk signals Doge could look into gold at Fort Knox. This is 6 hours ago. That is correct. This is reported by The Hill. Says that tech billionaire Elon Musk signaled Monday that he will be looking into Fort Knox, where the U.S. has a massive and heavily secured gold reserve. Looking for the gold at Fort Knox, Musk wrote on the social platform X. He also shared a post from Senator Mike Lee of Utah, in which the senator said he has been denied access to Fort Knox, an Army installation in Kentucky, who is confirming that gold wasn't stolen from Fort Knox. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not. That gold is owned by the American public. We want to know if it's still there, Musk said. I got to say one thing, though. We're hearing a lot of things we've never heard before. Things that are being discussed that have never been discussed before. And no candidate's going to be perfect. But I will give it that we're hearing and seeing things we've never heard before under Trump. That is a fact. Would you agree or disagree?
I mean, what we've been seeing since he won in 2016, nothing's been the same. Can you agree with that?
I can agree that nothing's been the same. It's been very volatile, is what it's been. But that's what happens when there's change, right?
And there's that little there's that letter in the alphabet that mentioned a lot of these things.
That letter comes after the letter P, correct?
Yeah, it's one of those letters, the capital letter. And
no, I'm sorry.
And
that letter comes before R. Wait.
No, you were right.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah, it comes after P.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the letter that people say is like theories and people are crazy that believe. So you believe in those theories?
I mean, listen, I only believe in God. I entertain all different types of theories because why the hell not at this point? Like, we see what's going on.
So, but you're a one-letter anon?
No. So there is no one-letter anon. There's the letter, and there are anons. The one-letter anon word is made up by the media, by the MSM. Like, there is no that anon. You understand? That's what they wrote. That's what the letter wrote himself. He said that concept is what they made, and then anybody can make a theory and say, "Oh, it's bland anon." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what he wrote is different from what we write. We're anons. We can just go in there and write with our own theories. JFK Jr., this, that. All that is just people LARPing, making their own theories. But what he wrote, whatever they wrote, is a lot of stuff has either came to fruition or it looks like it's about to.
So, do you think that Trump is going to save America?
I think if he with the Doge shit that they're doing, it's a good step. If there is an infiltration of our government and of our politicians and our judges, the way you stop it first is cutting off the
head of the
baby bottle, right? Well, no, you don't cut off the head of the snake. They're cutting off what the snake feeds off of. And we see with the USAID that they funded all these propaganda news media. They funded everything. They funded the vaccine. They funded COVID. They funded everything, right?
Yeah, thanks for using those keywords on my show. I appreciate it. But go ahead.
But yeah, I forget that we're not in a free society anymore.
No, we're not.
But so yeah, how do you combat this infiltration if there is one? And we know what JFK said, right?
What did he say?
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means. What was he talking about?
Hello. Are we back? We're back. So why did that happen, Al? Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. We're going to have to cut this part out on the re-release. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up.
We hear you now.
Send me $20, $100, super chat if you can hear me. All right, thumbs up. We're back on the air. So you were saying you don't think there's going to be some enormous volatility? Like, there's no way out of what's happened to us without pain, man. Without pain,
So you know what a black swan event is, right?
Yeah.
We experienced that 2020. It was a black swan event that nobody predicted, and it just, boom, crashes everything.
Yeah.
If we listen to what they told us that before, Event 201, all these things. I don't know what I could say on your pod, but they told us that they prepped us.
Can you take us off speaker and talk into your phone so it's clear? Do us that favor.
How about now?
That's a little bit better.
So Klaus Schwab had Cyber Polygon during 2020, and they called it a pandemic of the computers, or whatever he said. And I think that's the next one. I think that's the next thing that they do. That's the next card they have to play. And that's the only thing, because there's nothing else that can come that's going to crash, for example, Bitcoin, in my opinion. But something like that, where the miners and the people will have internet and you can't sell and you can't buy, that will crash Bitcoin. So, and everything else. And it would crash banks, and it would crash the economy, and it would crash. But for Bitcoin specifically, because that's what I'm a Bitcoin maxi, I think that's what we have. That's what they could possibly do next.
Stock market was at 7,000 points in 2008. We're at 40-something thousand points. There hasn't been a correction or a true recession. I think this is the biggest bubble in the history of the world, my personal opinion. I expect extreme volatility. I'm not telling people what to do. I'm not giving you financial advice. I think the house of cards has to come down. There's no way out of this without some serious pain. I think eggs is just the beginning. And eggs has nothing to do with even the economy. It's because they're exterminating all the chickens, which is absurd to me. What do you think about that, with what's going on with the chickens and this thing in the background? Do you think it's going to come back as something that, you know, the first woman in Wyoming hospitalized with the bird flu? Do you think this thing's going to come out and be this sleeper that shuts down the world and creates chaos? I mean, what do you think's going to happen, man? Take a guess. I know no one knows the future but God, but what do you think?
I think that what we experienced in 2021 when they released that thing, that experiment to the public, we don't know what I think that we'll experience wild health things that we'll see, but I don't think it'll be a bird flu or this or that. I think it'll be blamed on some new thing that they'll make up. But we have yet to see what they've done in that 1 year that they released that one thing. And it takes 10 years to find out when they do a real release of a medication or something. It takes 10 years. And I think, what are we, in year 4 of that? And look around, look at your loved ones, look at people you know, and does anything seem weird? Are people
are dropping like flies, bro. They're dropping like flies. I know people just dropping like flies, man, especially the first couple of years after everything happened.
Yep.
Everyone that did this, if you can see me on camera right now, they're not doing too good. I just watched an amazing thing. I don't even know who was speaking, man. It was like a 1-hour lecture. I wish I had the link. And this guy broke it all down, man. Everything that happened, what happened to us, what it can do to you, how the whole industry works. Like, it was insane. I forgot the guy's name. He's working with the government He's working with the government of Salvador right now.
That's Jack Cruz.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Dr. Jack Cruz.
He's like a tall guy. He's like a tall guy, chubby a little bit. He's a little chubby.
The glasses, red glasses,
and he curses.
Beard.
And he curses when he talks.
He's in New York. That's Dr. Jack Cruz. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT right now.
And he's talking to RFK.
Yep.
And and he said that they can't even pass certain rules and regulations because of how evil the system is here. Is that true?
That's exactly it. He was actually on the same podcast you were on. I think Danny Jones.
Yeah, I've been on Danny Jones a few times.
He's the Bill Cooper of our time, and he's a brain surgeon. He's not some quack that's just talking on YouTube. He's a brain surgeon. So I would listen to him more than I listen to anybody else.
So his name is Jack Cruz, right?
Kruse.
Okay.
Jack Cruz. He says a lot about what they went down, and he knows it down to the molecules of what they did. You understand? He knows the science behind it. He says SV40. I'm not going to search that up.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. And that you basically give yourself cancer and soft tissue.
Yep. And he talks about, in his story, if I could just say it real quick, his story is he was a brain surgeon. He was doing his residency with the guy who invented the polio thing and gave it to, he went to school with the guy.
He gave it to his own niece and nephew or something.
Yes. And
one of them passed away and one of them got cancer.
Yes. And
I just watched this like 2 hours ago. I literally just watched this like 2 hours ago. The whole thing. The whole speech.
That one is crazy. That's like a 4-hour video. If you have GPT or Grok up, you can just ask, is there any fragment of those 4 letters that I just said, the 2 letters and the 2 numbers, in this thing that we got in whenever it was, 21?
Well, me and you didn't get it. I didn't get it. Did you get it?
Oh, I'll never get that. But I mean, we as in the global probably never.
You're not that
I've been
crazy.
waiting for something like this my whole life. Like, you think I was going to go and do that? Actually, I'm not even going to talk. I'm not going to dox myself too much. My name is Vianon. That's what you can call me.
What's your name?
V. Just V. You know, like the letter?
V for Vendetta.
Yes. Remember. But as GPT, I don't know if maybe you don't want to bring up any keywords.
Well, to be honest with you, I kind of want to wrap this show up. It's been a while. I'm tired. It's late. It's really hot in the studio, man. These lights are boiling now. I feel like I'm a rotisserie chicken right now. And
you're cooking up.
I just wanted to test out the phone feature. Well, I appreciate. How long you been watching the Bek Lover podcast, man?
I've been watching since the comeback team, since the first time I seen you.
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning, comeback team. I think that's what it was called. And I've been following you around all the different podcasts. I saw you on Sean Kelly. I watch you everywhere you go.
All right,
we need people like you that talk the truth.
Just don't be a creep, yeah? Don't be a stalker. Okay?
Nah.
I'm joking.
Never.
I appreciate you, man. I just wanted to test this out. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to start taking calls, I think going forward. I don't think I'm going to do too many more today, so don't get mad if I don't pick up your calls. I know a few of you called. I just wanted to test it out. We're back, man. We're back, Al. Yo, V, we appreciate your time, bro.
Thank you, bro. I'm a big fan, and I'll call back in another day.
And remember, no matter how crazy it is out there, no matter how horrible it may seem, never give up. Never lose hope. This is your boy, Bek Lover, and you just watched another episode of the Interesting Times podcast, because we live in an interesting world indeed. Make sure you stay tuned here. Smash that subscribe button. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, gathering all the strangest news of the world, making sure that you stay in the know. I have a ton of content coming. Make sure you check out all the podcasts. I'll put all the links in this episode and on my community page. Make sure you join the community page on the YouTube channel. There's a lot of updates there, but there's a lot of improvements coming over the next month. We have a little bit of influx. We're going to be getting some new equipment. We're going to be streaming outside. We're going to be doing all types of content, not just podcasts. You can also check me out on Sonny Faz's channel. I did a live stream with him last night because my name is Respect, everybody. Stay strong, and I hope you have a bug out bag, because we're not out of the woods yet, my friends. We're not even close. But it's getting interesting, is it not? Shout out to Al the Pal, man. He puts in a lot of hard work. He messed up his own broadcast for his birthday, but let's give him another happy birthday, man. Al the Pal, man. It's the man behind the scenes, man. Send $20, we'll buy him cheeseburgers tonight, man. White Castle for his birthday. Don't be cheap, man. I'm just joking. I'll see you on the next episode. Bek Lover, signing out.